Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. Baroness Casey, the person that's recommended to the Prime Minister that we have a time-limited national inquiry into the historic and ongoing exploitation of the working classes of the United Kingdom. She is very much part of the establishment. In my view, she's not impartial. She sits as a crossbencher in the House of Lords, so she can't be partial towards the Tories or the Labour Party. That doesn't mean she's not part of the establishment, and that's exactly what she is. She is a establishment shill. She's an establishment voice. I'm going to play this clip now, and it's very, very revealing. Alright, it's about narrative control.
Were leaning into a finding that they wanted, which is what I saw in Rotherham. And at one level, Tipexing out Pakistani on a children's service file, which was probably done in a well-meaning way because they'd be worried about sort of racism that flows from that.
No, it could never be construed as well-meaning. It's either ignorance, meaning really, really stupid and dumb, or they knew exactly what they were doing and they did it on purpose and they did it to cover their own arses. I don't think anybody would have been politically naive enough in the establishment, whether at local or national level, that they did it with honest intentions and they did it for the right reasons. I think Baroness Casey is being very, very politically naive if she thinks that's the case.
Is actually a gift to racists. I mean, all of this is a gift to the racists. If good people don't look at difficult issues, bad people will.
Good people are not in charge. Good people did not look at these questions and they did not raise these issues. Many people in the media class and politicians are lawyers or have a legal backing in their background. They don't ask difficult questions if they don't like the answers that will be presented, and they often ask different questions to deflect, and that's what they do, and that's my experience with politicians and the media class.
And even worse people will then exploit them. So
nobody could exploit a problem if the problem was being dealt with. It couldn't be exploited by anyone. The only exploitation I think's been going on here is the exploitation and the systematic grooming of generations of white working class girls and boys all over the country by people that really shouldn't be in the country at all.
That's my general view of difficult things that I've been asked to look at in life, and this is now the other. So we established that, and then I thought to myself, or we thought to ourselves, let's go and look at some of the large police forces where they have been, there are sufficient numbers of child sexual exploitation cases of a group-based nature for us to look at, can they collect ethnicity or not? And yes, they can. So that made me even more cross with the central aspects of this, because if you've got two very large police forces and then Operation Stovewood in South Yorkshire able to collect that data, why can't I have that data? Why, as a previous Home Secretary or a previous policing minister or the Minister for Equalities, dare I say it, why can't they look at that data and interrogate it if I just get on a train to West Yorkshire and find it?
But to be clear, does the data, such as we have, does it vindicate the idea that has been levelled for some years now, that there is a particular problem among Pakistani men or groups of Pakistani men with group-based child sexual exploitation?
There is enough in the audit of looking at these three areas and the disproportionality in these are fully accurate details to take you to a position of disproportionality.
So there you go. Disproportionality has been proven beyond doubt, and that's based on limited information. I'm going to go further, and I'm going to say if there is a national inquiry, even if it is limited and it's dealt with openly and honestly, I'm going to call it out here. I'm going to say that the smaller police forces that weren't recording ethnicity were leaned on or told to by larger constabularies and police forces, and they were told to because they didn't like the answers that they were getting. That would be my assumption, and that would be my opinion on the matter. The establishment, and that means local and national, didn't actually like the data they were getting, so they stopped asking the questions. That's just my view. Now, this data is quite revealing if you look at it here. Now, if you look in West Yorkshire, for example, if you look at this data here, it shows that if you look at the breakdown of perpetrators of Asian, nice and broad, and white, it's roughly the same, 35 to 34%. So a layman, if you were looking at that, you could turn around and say, oh, it's about the same, there's nothing to see here, there's nothing to see. White people are just as guilty as Asian people, to use the wording in the official reports. That's not accurate though, that really isn't accurate, because if you look, the ethnicity of white people based on population is disproportionate. 35% or 34% attributed to white people and a population of 77% white. And then you've got the same number of perpetrators from the Asian community, again to use the language in the report, and their population is what? Is about 16% of the population locally. Alright? So that's what we mean when we say it's disproportionate a particular demographic. And that's what the official data shows. And it shows again on the pie chart, which looks a bit cleaner than the table. But again, it's all the same thing, exactly what we've been saying for years and years and years. But the official establishment line that they're going at this inquiry with is, if we don't do it, the racist will. Meaning that they don't value anybody that's been talking about this for years and years as of bringing any value to the debate, because they've already been judged in their eyes, and that's what matters. I'm going to play you a clip now from what Rupert Lowe said about Tommy earlier in the year. Alright? I've never met Tommy personally. Generally speaking, I think he's on the right side of things. I do think he's been treated horrifically by the prison system, and I do think he's been targeted specifically because he's asking the difficult questions the establishment didn't. However, your mileage may vary on that point. I'm going to acknowledge what Rupert Lowe says on this is completely accurate, and I'm going to play it now.
You've mentioned Tommy Robinson. Regardless of whether you agree with his position on grooming gangs, is it smart politics for you to in any way sort of stand alongside him or give him credit for anything?
I'm not standing alongside him, and I've said consistently, I was on Michelle Dewberry on GB News on Monday.
But you said
I basically said, render unto Tommy Robinson what is Tommy Robinson's, and render unto Reform what is Reform's. But that doesn't mean to say you don't give credit to people who've actually done good work on something. Now, I don't know what Tommy Robinson's done legally.
But he's a vile man, isn't he?
Hang on.
See about that. The interviewer, or the guy that's discussing this with Rupert Lowe, case closed with Tommy. He's a disgusting individual, he's a vile man. What more do you need to see or know about him? And Rupert Lowe's not really playing that game. He's like, I'm not really interested in playing that angle. This is what they want to do for any whistleblowers or people. It's not about actually going down the rabbit hole with them to see what they will find. It's always defensive. Everything against many people that the establishment has come after is all about self-defense. And what's the thing they can do to the individuals that raise these issues? Discredit them. If you can discredit them, then what power do they have?
Hang on. I've said he's not right for reform. He himself says he's not right for reform. So you can try and make as much mischief as you want, but the fact of the matter is, we aren't going to come together, but that doesn't mean to say you don't give people credit for what they've done well.
Even if they are pretty disgusting individuals.
Well, do you think he should be denied visitation rights? Do you think he should be treated, don't you think he should be treated like everybody else in prison?
Yeah, I think that that if
aren't we all equal under the law?
Yes, but that doesn't mean I have to in any way give him credit for anything he says or does. That's a different matter.
So you don't give him credit for what he's actually said and done to uncover.
If I was a politician,
Pakistani rape gangs.
If I was a politician,
you can't even.
Well, he's not the only person that's done that, is he? So if I was a politician,
think he's done more than anybody else on it.
So there you have it. This is what the establishment does. Okay, now if you listen to the tone and the language of this guy, it's more extreme than Baroness Casey, but the ballpark's the same. If you're not inside the tent, you're an issue. If you're not inside the tent, you're the problem. That's why Rupert Lowe is such a problem for the establishment and the legacy media. because he's independently wealthy and he's not a politician by trade. He's a football manager, he's a businessman, he's a farmer, and this is the type of thing that they do. Alright? They want good people to sit back and do nothing, and that's a difficult pill for them to swallow. I'm of the view that you can be a flawed individual and do good things, and you can be a wicked individual and present yourself as if you're one of the good guys. Now, if you like this video, comment below, like and share and subscribe. The establishment will always, to protect itself, is there to protect the structures that keep it going. The considerations of the working class populations of the United Kingdom is an aside. They'd rather not even talk about it. They'd rather not even give it lip service, which is what they're doing now. If you think I'm onto something, comment below. I'll see you in the next video later on today. You have a good day, and thank you for watching as always.